Hi guys, I'm Cambro. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is my card review of the final Mythos Pack of the Path to Carcosa cycle in the game Arkham Horror. So we finally got it, the last Mythos Pack, Dim Carcosa. You probably know this already, but it's the sixth Mythos Pack, and it concludes the end of this cycle. So yeah, we've been doing this for the entire day of this cycle now. So we'll end now with the last pack, Dim Carcosa. So we have some exciting cards today. So we'll just jump right into and we'll see. So the first card is a Guardian card. It's an event. Eat Lead. It's an event. Cost 0. Tactic. Cost 2 XP to include in your deck. Got a combat and agility icon. It's a tactic, so you can put it on stick to the plan, and it reads fast. Play when you activate the fight ability on a firearm asset. You may spend X additional ammo token from that asset. When you reveal a chaos token from the bag, reveal X additional chaos token. Choose one to resolve and ignore the rest. So we have a similar card to this in the grotesque statue from the core set, where you, instead of drawing one chaos token, you draw two. To improve your chance of succeeding a test, and the grotesque statue is really good card. It drastically improves your chance of succeeding. So how good is Eat Lead then? You have to spend additional ammo tokens, and ammo tokens are kind of a scarce resource. Guns doesn't usually have a lot of ammo, so yeah. Let's look at the guns. We have a couple of guns now in the game. Some of the better targets probably would be something like the Colt, which comes in with 6 ammo. And you usually don't spend all of them. You usually find your machete or some other weapon before you're finished using all of them. So Eat Lead could be a valid target to the Colt. But then again, is it better to not just shoot again? Maybe if you're facing like some retaliate enemy or a boss enemy and you can't pull that auto fail. I think it's a very late campaign include. This is not something you buy early in the campaign, and I don't see you ever spending more than one additional ammo. Maybe two, but I don't know. If you somehow like in Zoe sleight of hand, like the lightning gun or the Chicago typewriter, then you could, if you're like spending extra actions with the Chicago typewriter, you might as well spend an extra ammo to be sure that you've really fired that one off. This card has been spoiled for quite some time, and I haven't gotten more lukewarm to it though. So I think it's a okay card to include in like the 2-3 last scenarios. But more than that, So let's move on. The second Guardian card is the Armor of Ardens. Ardens? I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that one. It's an asset, takes up the body slot. It's item, armor, and relic traded. And it comes in with four icons. 2 willpower and 2 combat icons. It costs 4 to play and 5 XP to include in your deck. It has 4 health and no sanity, and it has a reaction that says when damage is assigned to armor of Aridens, I believe that's how you pronounce it. When damage is assigned to armor of Aridens, exhaust armor of Aridens, cancel 1 of that damage. Yes, so this is a 5 Guardian card. We have another level 5 Guardian card in the Lightning Gun, which came in Lost in Time and Space, the last Mythos Pack of the last cycle. And the Lightning Gun is a really strong card. You can finish bosses super fast with it. The armor, though, I'm not entirely sure why you would include it. The thing is, who can take this right now? We have 3 people who can take it. No, I should have pulled this up before. We have 3 people who can take it, and that's Roland. He will go up to 13 health, so it will go up to 13, and Mark will go up to 13 health. So they'll all be at 13 health. And if you use this reaction, you probably will get out like 16 health before you're dead. But Guardians usually don't die of like they don't get killed. They usually go insane by taking too much horror. So I don't think any of the Guardians really need this. So I guess you could like teamwork it to one of your Seeker friends, but that's a lot of XP and cards you probably don't want to include in your deck just to give some HP to another investigator. Let's look at the other options. We also have the bulletproof vest from the core set. If you compare these two, this one costs the double as much, 2 more XP. They have both for health. So the only difference is the icons, obviously, and the reaction. And the reaction, sure, enemies that deals 1 damage to you doesn't do any damage to you once a turn, obviously, since this exhaust you can't like keep moving with an enemy if you don't want to take the damage. Yeah, and this only protects you. If we compare it to something like 2 Grit that came in the Path to Carcosa Deluxe box, it costs less, 0 XP, and this has 3 health, and it can protect other investigators as well. Or just the leather armor. Sure, not every guardian can take it, but 2 health for 0 cost, 0 XP. Yeah, I'm not entirely sold on this armor. There might come like a guardian with low HP. I think there have been one spoiled. The nurse, I think her health was 5 or 6. She might like it to be a little more tanky. We're not entirely sure if she can take level 5 guardian card yet, but as right of now, I don't see anyone taking this. Let's continue. Eldict Memory. It's a Seeker event, spirit rated, and it has a 3 XP cost, or 3 XP and no cost. Has the intellect and the agility icon, and reads play Eldict Memory as an exact copy of an insight event in any investigator discard pile, including its resource cost. Remove that event from the game. Remove Eldict Memory from the game instead of discarding it. So we have a very similar card to this, Painted World reads kind of similar to this one. You play Painted World that is a copy of something underneath the Fina, and you play this one as a copy of an insight event in any discard pile. Which insight cards do we have? We have quite a lot. It looks like most Seekers, if not even every Seeker event, is insight. So there's all the Seeker can take this, and Lola, but I read here on the FAQ that if you use it with Lola to play, because you have to be Seeker to play it, then you can't play a non-Seeker card, because she'll be in the wrong role. But yeah, you can read about that here. So what are good targets for this? If you're copying something like a Cryptic Research or Deciphering Reality, you're gaining XP-ish. You're playing it as a copy for a card that costs more. So Decipher Reality might be a really good target for it. Another probably very good target is Shortcut. It will gain the fast rate, and if you, I believe this is how it works. Maybe they actually say it here. No, they don't. But I think if you're playing it as an exact copy of Shortcut level 2, you'll put Eldict Memory on the location as Shortcut level 2 does, and the location will gain this exhaust ability. Yeah, I believe that's how it works. Since you're playing it as an entire copy, you could, if someone managed to get a Delve too deep in their discard pile, you could play it, but the same with the Painted World, it won't go into the victory display. This card will actually remove itself from the game. So don't play the Dwell too deep. Not a good target. Drawn through flames, probably good. Yeah, you could copy Rex signature card. You could copy Mystery Remains, but that one removes itself from the game. So yeah, it's cool. You probably have to build around this or have to get full use of it. Because do you want to include it just to have like three shortcuts? That's not terrible. Copying Shore Gamble, probably also very good. It's a hard card to justify to like determine how good it is without trying it. And I haven't tried this one out. I don't play a lot of Seeker. Let's continue. This is nope. Here. This is No Stone Unturned. It's a Seeker event in sight, so you can copy it with Edict Memory. Cost 2, 5 XP, and has an intellect and a wild icon. Fast. Play during any fast player window. Choose an investigator at your location. That investigator searches his or her deck for a card, draw it, and shuffle his or her deck. Wow. So we got the No Stone Unturned level 0 in the what? Oh, in the Path to Carcosa, yeah. And that was you searched the top 6 card for a card and drew it. And this is you search the entire deck. You can also use this. Oh, this wasn't even fast. Yeah, so it has gain fast, and you search the entire deck. So whichever card you're looking for, you can get that. So what are good targets for this? You choose another investigator. So getting Yim's trumpet out, probably good. Getting a lightning gun for your guardian friends, probably very good. A lot of cards that you only have one-offs are probably a very good target for this. Because it's essentially it doesn't copy, but you get those one-offs quickly out of the game or out of your deck. Another very interesting card is that it has this fast that you can play during any player window. So that means if someone is taking a skill test, like let's say Rotting Remains, which you take 1 horror for each point you fail by, and they're about to die because maybe they're only at 1 horror left and 1 horror left and they are 3 willpower or something and don't have an unexpected courage or something. You could commit this during the skill test, make that player search for a gust or unexpected courage or one of the desperate card maybe even, and have that player commit that card. Or maybe something like you're getting a vicious blow during a skill test or so. It's a very flexible card. I think the skill cap is quite high on it. You might need to either know your teammates' deck quite well or just ask them if they really need something. So if someone in your group has this known stun until level 5, you should always consider it that you might have access to any card at any time in your deck. And that's very strong. So yeah, this is probably a very good Eldritch memory target, I would say. Very nice card. Let's continue. Nope. Here we go. Charon's Ball. The Fair Man's Pay. It's a rogue asset item relic. It doesn't cost anything, and it costs 1 XP to include. But it's permanent and exceptional, so it actually costs 2 XP. When earning experience point during the resolution of a scenario, if you are not defeating during the scenario, you earn 2 additional experience. If you were defeating during that scenario, you are killed. And if you're new to the game, you probably aren't if you're watching this video this far into the video. But if you're killed, you have to discard that investigator. You have to either restart the campaign or choose another investigator. So it's very rogue. High risk, high reward. Charbonneau Ball, I think it's in ancient Greek or something. You put a coin in the mouths of dead people to pay the ferryman. So that's cool. You have like this coin in the skull. I also believe that one of the locations in the earlier scenarios had a reference to this or something. I can't remember really. But anyway, I've heard people talk about this, and then it has been FAQ. 2 people can include this, but only 1 people can put it on the table when you start the scenario. So only one investigator will get extra XP. The other investigator just won't use his or her Charbonneau Ball. It won't be shuffled into your deck or be removed or anything, but it just won't be active. So it costs 2 XP. Let's say you buy it in the first scenario. It costs 2 XP, and at the end of scenario 2, you're getting those 2 XP back. So then at 3, you're getting 2, 4, you're getting 4, 6, no, 5th, you're getting 6, 8, 10, 12. That can't be right. Yeah, you're netting 12, right? Oh, well, you're getting 10 because you don't really need XP after the 8th scenario. So you're netting 10 experience on this. And that's probably very good. 10 XP, that's for Rogue. Rogue are quite XP hungry. That's a golden pocket watch. That's 2 Chicago typewriters. That's, there's a lot of stuff the Rogues need. They're very hungry since they have a lot of exceptional short gamble and stuff like that. How bad is the downside? Well, obviously it's the worst downside you can get. If you can die from it. So let's see. How often do rogues die? They're probably one of the best one target not to die. They have stuff like out of. Nope. I'm out of here. I don't know. The rogue card that says that you can resign if there's a resign location. Is it there? Isn't it called I'm out of here? Yeah, something like that. I can't find it now, but you know which one I mean. They have stuff like elusive, which you disengage from enemies, move away. They have high agility, so yeah. The point I'm trying to say is, at least, especially if you're not playing blind, you usually are defeated. At least I'm not. I'm playing on standard, so it might be a little bit easier compared to if you're playing like on hard or expert. But if you know the campaign, it's probably a very good inclusion if you can take it. Had to be careful on stuff like the XS Express, Count Express. It's easy to get defeated there. But yeah, it's a very cool card. I probably would recommend taking it. If you want a challenge, take it on your blind run. Let's continue. This is Lapera, and I have actually had a chance to see this one in action. So it's a rogue event. No, it's a rogue asset. It's an item, weapon, firearm, and illicit rated. Cost 3 XP, and there's a fight or combat icon. Uses 2 ammo. Playing Lapera does not provoke attack of opportunity. So if you're engaged with an enemy, they won't hit you if you play this. It's not fast, but it won't attack of opportunity. Spend 1 ammo, fight. You get +1 combat and deal +1 damage for this attack. If Lapera entered play this turn, you get an additional combat and deal 1 additional damage. Sorry. Let's see, is it good? Yeah. So how good is this? This is probably very good. This is very good. I'm just checking that the sound is good still. Yeah, I think it's good. You play this and you shoot twice at an enemy. You're doing 6 damage if you hit them for 3 actions. That's standard actually, but the fact that you can one-shot a 3 health enemy, that's very good actually. And this is a prime target for sleight of hand. That is so good. You sleight hand of it, shoot twice, get it back up. And since you sleight hand of it, it'll get the plus combat and damage. It only has 2 ammo, so if you play it normally, you will only get to use it probably that turn, because you probably will fire both of the bullets. If we compare it to something like Chicago Typewriter, it costs less XP and resource-wise. It comes with less ammo, but only takes 1 hand slot. They both do 3 damage per bullet, but you can fire more bullets with the Chicago. But I think the Lapera is very strong. That's what I'm trying to say. The fact is that it only has 2 ammo. You might have to play around that. You have to think when you want to play it. But if you play something like Lapera and double, I can't spell for shit, or nothing. If you play double or nothing with the Lapera, you're doing 6 damage per shot, right? Yeah, you're doing 6 damage per shot. That's very strong. Yeah. I think Lapera is probably a very good inclusion. I'm struggling a little bit with what to say with it, but it's a very strong card. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's continue. I'm stuck for words. Sheet Death. It's a rogue event, so our 3rd rogue card. Trick Fated. Cost 1, 5 XP, and wild icon. Fast. Play when you would be defeated. Disengage from each enemy engaged with you, discard all cards in your threat area, heal 2 horror and 2 damage, and move to any reveal location with no enemies. If it's your turn, end your turn. Remove Sheet Death from the game. So this is a very interesting card. We have a guy here with bloody hands. I think it'll look a little bit like what's the guy from Game of Thrones? The midget guy. The Lannister. I can't remember his name. Tyrion Lannister. I think it looks a little bit like him. But what does Sheet Death do? So you play it when you would be defeated. You disengage from everyone and you move away and you heal up. So a couple of how this works. If let's say you would be at 5 XP and take 10 damage hit from Beyond the Veil or something, then you would put 10 damage on your character. You play this, you would heal 2 out of dome, but you would still be dead. Because, you wouldn't have health still even after the healing. So you would still die. If you had something like 9 health and took 10 damage and play this, you would put 10 on you, heal 2, so you would still have 1 HP left. Another thing you can play this is like in the train, if you're in the last cart and the agenda advance and that cart is removed from the game, then you are defeated since you are in that cart, but then you can play Sheet Death to move away. And I actually mailed Matt, the lead designer, to ask him about this, and you can do that, providing there's a place for you to move, because there have to be a reveal location with no enemies. And then you would heal 2 damage and 2 horror. It's a very interesting card, but the fact that it costs 5 XP, I don't see myself including it. Some people say that it helps with Charbonneau's overall since it helps you not being defeated. I guess that's true, but you want to spend 5 of those XP on cheat death? Because in my mind, a lot of scenarios it won't ever trigger. You can't just play it to heal horror and damage and discard cards in your threat area. Providing, let's say you play it, if you get Frozen in Fear getting away, skids like that, the new rogue like that, you can actually remove hospital deaths from with sheet death. Someone commented, that's pretty cool. But otherwise than that, I don't see myself picking this card ever. It's just such a tempo hit on your XP. I'd rather take something that helps me not get into the situation where I'm about to get defeated. Yeah, let's continue. So this is Time Warp. It's a spell paradox, and it's a mystic event. And it's cost 1, 2 XP. Fast. Play immediately after an investigator at you location finish resolving an action during his or her turn. Undo that action. Return the game state to exactly what it was before that action was performed, including the action cost. So it's a very cool card. Let's start there. Of a sundial, I believe that's what it's called. And if you see here, this is probably the longest FAQ on one card we have in the game currently. And this game, or this card, wouldn't be possible if it hadn't been a co-op game. And I find that really cool that they can, or that Matt can try out cards like this. So I'm not gonna go through all of this because you probably have already heard what happens if you quantum flux and can't remember the order and stuff like that. Most of the time, you will probably just use it to undo a test, and that's probably fine. If you have ever stuff like why would you even want to time warp quantum flux? In my mind, it's just to draw. You need a specific card that you could quantum flux it and just reshuffle it again and draw a new card. It's not harder than that. No one is going to like quantum flux, draw one card, and then oh no, I didn't want this card. I'll time warp, but then I want quantum flux again. If you're doing that, you're gonna play the quantum flux again just to draw another card. Because you drew an enemy or something or a weakness. If someone is defeated with an action they are doing, you can't time warp them. But let's say one investigator attacks another enemy, and an enemy that's engaged with another enemy with another investigator. So Roland shoots an enemy Wendy is engaged with. Roland misses and kills Wendy. Then you can undo Roland's action because he's still alive. You wouldn't be able to undo someone's action that was defeated due to retaliate because there's no target because they're dead. 2 XP to do an action. Probably very good. It's kind of like Eat Lead. It's kind of like a Lucky. Yeah, it's a cool card. There's actually a lot to say about it, but most of that are rules, and I'm not gonna go through that here now. You can read about that yourself. A thing to remember though, you don't get it back to your hand. That's the paradox thing. Let's continue. The Seal of Elder Sign. So this is a skill card for Mystic. It's expert and spell rated, and it costs 5 XP. So I believe that's our first 5 XP skill card. That's a wild icon, and it reads: "Do not reveal Chaos token from the Chaos bag for this test. Treat the Chaos token revealed for this test as an Elder Sign. When the test ends, remove Seal of Elder Sign from the game. So it's basically auto success, because most investigators succeed when they draw their Elder Sign. Only mystics can take it. And if we compare to something like Stroke of Luck, which is an auto succeed for 2 XP, providing you don't draw the auto fail, it's kind of expensive on that side. That's 5 XP compared to Stroke of Luck, which is only 2. Sure, you have to rebuy Stroke of Luck, but if you compare to something like Grotesque Statue, which helps you succeed test quite a higher rate, you can do this 4 times instead of 1 time. Sure, you're not guaranteed to succeed with the Grotesque Statue, but still. So you probably want to include this to draw that Elder Sign. And currently, the ones who can take Agnes, she definitely don't care about her Elder Sign. Akechi, she gets to add another charge, and that's probably very good. Yeah, there are some strong spells you wouldn't mind getting another charge on, like a Shivering level 5 or something like that. Jim, it's kind of weird if Jim takes it, because then he will get a skull actually out of that Elder Sign. But that might be good. You could trigger Song of Death or something similar. Marie can take it, but I've never played Marie. I barely know how she works. I'm not going to talk about her. A thing to think about though, this is a skill card. And so you can commit it to another investigator, and then that investigator will draw their Elder Sign. So someone like Skids, who gets resources, probably likes it. Someone like Daisy, who gets to draw cards, likes it. Yorick loves it, gets to draw a card or pick up a card from their discard pile. Yeah, some investigators definitely benefit from their Elder Sign. Someone like Wendy, she doesn't really care about it. It's just plus for the skill test. It's a very interesting card. I think it's probably better if you're playing with the investigator who has something that trigger of their Elder Sign. So if you're playing with like Skids or Akechi, well, Akechi can take it herself. Or who else did I say? Yorick. Then this might actually be considered to take. Get it early, and you probably will get most use out of it. Not much more to say. It's probably a very good target for No Stern Unturned. No Stern Unturned. Because you will automatically success the test. Let's continue. Alright, yeah. Zoe probably also really likes it. If you give Zoe the Seal of Elder Sign during a shotgun test, she can do 6 damage, and that's quite a lot. Throw in a double or nothing, and you're up to 12 damage. Right. I'm not entirely sure if double or nothing double Zoe's, but still, even 11 damage. Let's continue. 3 more cards to go. My voice is starting to... It's so this is newspaper. It's a survivor asset. It takes up 1 hand slot, costs 1 resource and 2 XP. 2 intellect icons. You get +2 intellect while investigating if you have no clues. Reaction: when you would discover 1 or more clue at your location. If you have no clues, discover 1 additional clue at your location. So we have the original newspaper, which we got in the SS County, and that just said you get +2 intellect if you have no clues. This one has this reaction ability, which says you discover 1 additional clue. How good is that? Is that worth 2 XP? I would say it is. That's actually quite a strong ability. Something what I usually like to do. Ashcan, he can usually only use Duke. Well, he can use Duke twice, but let's say you only want to use Duke once. Then you could newspaper without Duke the first time, you'll be at 4. Then you could investigate with Duke. Then you'll be at 4 as well. Because the first time you didn't have any clues, you'll pick up 2 clues due to the newspaper. So yeah, that's probably a good thing just to do. In solo, this probably shines a lot more, because in solo you usually only have 0 to 3 clues at a time. Then you usually advance the act. So this gets really good in single player, in solo. Yeah, like someone said, if you love the newspaper, you love this. If you hate the newspaper, you hate this. That's probably true. There's not much to say. Like, getting another clue actionless is very good. You don't have to test for it, and you're saving actions. So yeah, I would definitely consider including this in your survivor deck. Let's continue. This is Infight. It's a survivor event. Costs 1 resource and 3 XP. It has 2 intellect and 2 agility icons. And it says fast. Play when an enemy phase begins. Cancel all attacks made by non-elite enemies against you this phase. Yeah. It's a very cool picture. Let's start there. There are like Bayoukians or Scorpions or something attacking this man. Or doll, maybe. I don't know. How good is it? I would say it's very, very bad. For 3 XP? If you compare this to dodge, which they cost the same, dodge you can cancel any enemy attack. It can be an elite. This one can't be elite, and you can only do it during the enemy phase. So you can't evade attack of opportunity with this. And survivors aren't usually the ones who have a lot of enemies on them. And you can only use this on yourself. Compared to something like I've Had Worse, which cancel auto damage. This one also gets you a lot of resources. And you can play this against elite enemies. Yeah, I don't see myself who really wants to take it. Wendy, maybe, if you're playing like a... No, it's a bad card. I think it's a very, very bad card. It might get better if we have like a survivor investigator who likes to have enemies on them. But yeah, like Yorick could taunt the enemies and then fight them. But that seems very inefficient, and you're not really getting anything out of it. Sure, you're pulling the enemies from the other investigators, but I don't know. I don't see why anyone would take this. Whoops. And the last card is the Key of Agnes. Let the storm rage on. And that's a quote from Frozen. It's our first and only neutral card in this pack. It's an asset accessory, takes up the accessory slot. It's item and relic traded. It has a wild and a willpower icon. It costs 3 and 5 XP. So, like the red gloved man, it also was neutral and cost 5 XP. And the red glove was very good, we know that. So, what does it do? Can put 4 sanity on it? No. And 4 horror on it. You get +1 to each of your skill for each horror on Keys of Agnes. When any amount of horror would be placed on you, place 1 horror on Key of Agnes. When Key of Agnes leaves play, discard the top 10 card of your deck. Wow. That's about my review for it. It's so good, I think. I have included it in one of my decks. I haven't drawn it yet. That might be the biggest downside, that you probably won't see it every game. You won't know on turn on it. But imagine having 3 horrors on it, and you're getting +3 in every skill test. Skids is then suddenly becoming Agnes on the willpower side. When they can fight like Roland, It's so strong. And the FAQ, there was a lot of discussion about this. When you put horror on your investigator card, you place one horror on the key. And you actually take one of that horror. So if you're getting one direct horror, you're actually not getting any horror on you. It goes on the key, because it goes on you, but then you take one of those horror. So you're not getting more. It doesn't produce horror. You just move horror from your investigator card to the key. So let's say you're someone like who can take Peter Sylvester, that you can super fast get 2 or 3 horror on the key, and then just put every other horror on Peter, and the key will never die. And since you're getting +2, +3 in every skill test, you probably won't be failing many skill tests anymore. The last here, discard the top 10 card of your deck. That feels like such an odd forced effect. It's not really a downside. Beyond the Veil is only in Dunwich, so yeah, if you're playing with Beyond the Veil, don't get 4 horror on this. But otherwise, that's not such a bad drawback. Because let's remember, this one has soaked for horror for you as well. I think it's without have tried that. I think it's game breaking. Who wants to take it? Everyone wants to take it. It's unique, so only one can take it. But I tried to build a deck using this one to see how high I could go up to stats, and what I found, providing 37 experience, but you could have like a stat line of 8777 with Ashcan very easy with this. It looks super strong, and I'm super excited to actually play with it. But I don't see an investigator who don't want to take it, and it probably will be a very common buy, like after second or third scenario. No. Yeah, so that's all the cards in Dim Carcosa. The entire cycle is done. The entire path to Carcosa is done. We had 332 card. No, that can't be right. Yeah, we had a lot of cards to review. I haven't tried them all out yet, even though I've talked about all of them. But it's been very fun doing this. I know my mic isn't the best one. I probably will try maybe to get a new one if you guys are enjoying these reviews. But yeah, please leave a like. Please comment. Tell me your thoughts. What have you been thinking of the Path to Carcosa on the player cards? I personally have liked the design of a lot of them. There have been some very, very interesting cards. Shortcut level 2 are a very good card. But yeah, that's my review. It will probably be quite a while until the next card reviews, since we don't know really what new cards are coming out, when they're coming out. But I might do some other stuff in the meantime if I get the time and yeah, find the time and energy for it. So I hope you like this, and until next time, see ya.